believe we're already at week 6 of Luke Persian Presents 365 films in 1 year. A happy belated Valentine's Day to all of you. Without wasting any more time, let me show you what films I'm reviewing this week. This week my reviews include Chronicle, 101 Dalmatians, Iron Sky, Immortals, Battleship, and for the first time ever, our very first compare and contrast review going over the films Treasure Planet and Titan AE. Now let's get on with the reviews. This week we're going to start off with a trip to the moon to fight off some Nazis in Iron Sky. Nazis on the moon in the future. Now what I give credit to this film for doing is realizing that its premise was absurd and embracing it. The space station on the moon is shaped like a giant swastika. The spaceships that they use to travel back and forth from the moon, flying zeppelins. They even have an albino serum that turns our main character, who's African American, into a white person. The cure for the albino serum is whiskey. They know what they're doing is stupid. The post-production of this film was outstanding. The visuals are really actually quite impressive. This film is jam-packed with a lot of great political satire. The President of the United States is a Sarah Palin doppelganger. It actually has a great message at the end, a satirization on the global destruction over a newly found natural resource, helium-3. I give this film 2.5 crowns. Our next film is Chronicle. Now, Chronicle is another lost footage film, and it's the best one I've seen to date. The effects that they pull off in this film, at some moments, are simply jaw-dropping. They're actually pursuing other genres of filmmaking with this lost footage style, other than just horror and shock value. The only real downside to this film is that you're rooting for our main character to fail. You can't empathize with this character whatsoever. You don't like him. Especially after he kills off the most lovable character in the film. Once he gains his powers, he becomes drunk on it. Very much in the same style as Anakin Skywalker in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. There aren't really many moments in this film where the picture becomes too jumbled, shaky, cam, as you would see in most other of the films of this nature, like in Cloverfield, where you walk out of the theater with a bit of a headache. I was happily able to reward Chronicle for its new take on the lost footage genre with 4 crowns. Still the best lost footage film I've seen to date. Moving on to our next film, 101 Dalmatians. Alright, listen people, I know. How the hell did I grow up never seeing this movie? I couldn't believe it when I turned it on and I saw Jeff Daniels was in this movie. Glenn Close, phenomenal job as Cruella de Vil. She's great. She really wants to kill those puppies. The sheepdog or whatever, that doesn't get any credit. He does all the work, rescues all of the puppies, and then who gets credit? The mom and dad Dalmatians. What happened to him? Still living on the street somewhere. He doesn't get a home. By the way, you're telling me that there are 100 purebred Dalmatian puppies out there and just happens to be that none of them have owners that are looking for them? Where did Glenn Close get all these puppies? I just hope that a lot of children movies don't get forgotten over the course of movie history and time. All in all, for capturing the essence of childhood films that I grew up with, I was able to happily reward 101 Dalmatians with 3 crowns. The next film I'll be reviewing is Battleship. The cast of Battleship includes Alexander Skarsgård, Liam Neeson, though I should say the film only stars that kid from Friday Night Lights and Rihanna. Liam Neeson and Alexander Skarsgård are in the film for, I don't know, maybe at max 30 minutes. Our main character is a loser, but our loser is now like a commanding officer after only being in the Navy for like a year. He just sucks. He's a loser. And yet, he's engaged to be married to Brooklyn Decker. This movie is awful. I think it was produced by the same people that did the movie Transformers. And wow, you guys really took a leap with this film. It's the exact same plot line. We make contact with another alien race. They come to our planet, and they try to establish a connection or a bridge to their home planet to bring all of their aliens here. Sounds pretty damn familiar. Am I to believe that these aliens that cross galaxies and galaxies to get here are to be defeated by 2 naval ships? The spaceships, the only way they can move around our planet is by hopping through the water. Lift up off the water, fly, and then set down. And then they do it again. And it takes like 10 seconds each time. These are the worst aliens I've ever heard of. This movie is bad, and I urge all of you to stay away. Battleship earns a deserving 1.5 crowns. Now moving on to the best looking worst movie you'll ever see, Immortals. I describe the movie as such because a lot of the moments in this film are simply jaw-dropping to look at. However, that being said, this film makes little to no sense whatsoever. Mickey Rourke plays a pretty convincing evil character, as he always does. He's sadistic in every way. There are moments in this film that are completely CG. I don't know how these producers, like the people that made Wrath and Clash of the Titans, keep messing up one of the coolest possible scenarios for film. Gods and humans. They introduce characters and then like a few seconds later you'll never see them again. They build them up like they're going to be important, but no, they're not coming back into the movie. This film does not have a lot going for it, and the depth is just not there in terms of story development. For that reason, I was only able to reward Immortals with 2 crowns. Now, by user request, I'm going to compare and contrast our last 2 films of the week, Treasure Planet and Titan AE. Now, both of these films are animated pictures attempting to attack the intergalactic genre. Now let's start with the animation itself. Treasure Planet is a much crisper film to look at. The animation is very much in the style of what you might see in the film Hercules. Both of these films try to conquer the intersplicing of CG with their animation for the first time. Treasure Planet is smart to only use its CG when its animation is not possible. For the giant broad sweeping landscapes with beautiful camera movements into these CG created environments. Titan AE chose to make even its villains out of CG, whereas some of the other characters are hand drawn. It's just so blatantly obvious that the suit he's wearing is CG and they clearly just drew his face inside. It makes it kind of awkward. Titan AE is done by the Bluth Company, whereas Treasure Planet is done by Disney, and Disney has decades and decades and decades of experience making these animated pictures. Character concepts. Treasure Planet, once again, succeeds in character concepts. Their relationships are built better throughout Treasure Planet as well, whereas in Titan AE, some of the concepts just don't really make any sense. Like they have this kangaroo thing with these giant, like, spider legs. It looks stupid. What I will give credit for Titan AE is their story is a much more realistic and harsher, grittier, darker take on reality. Whereas Treasure Planet has that Disney vibe. The first 5 seconds of Titan AE is the global destruction of Earth. All in all, I'd have to say that Treasure Planet comes out on top in this week's compare and contrast battle with 4 crowns to Titan AE's 2.5. Down to that time where I have to crown our King of the Week and our Royal Stinker. Now, our Royal Stinker was not a close battle this week. I'll have to reward it Battleship. All around, a stupid film. It thinks it's good. It's stupid. This week, I was happy to reward our King of the Week crown to Chronicle. Chronicle, I have to say, surprised me. This one attacks the genre in a way that made me accept it for its credibility. Now, thank you all again for joining us on Week 6 of Luke Persian Presents 365 Film Reviews in 1 year. That's 42 films down, 323 more to go. Tune in next